before 10 minutes and after 10 minutes of the class, right? So I'm sure every one of you have marked the attendance. If not, mark it before 11:30. And let us start the class now. So yesterday we were talking about some topics from the IT section, right? Technology related to communication. So each point was clear? Yes? If yes, yes, then you can write yes in the chat box. If no, you can write the question in the chat box. Anybody, if any point is not clear from the yesterday's class, you can mention here. Okay, so I believe each point is clear. Let me see the chat once. Both are same, Anurag, search engine and web browsers. Both are the same thing, you can say. From web browser only you go through the websites, right? Or the difference, if I can say, that is the only difference, you can say, like in search engine you can, but both the things are same, like whatever the first thing, we have to first we go to the Google Chrome, right? So Google Chrome by default it is showing where you can write the web address, and we can search something from there. So both are the same thing, there is no difference as such. But what we can do, we can go directly, or we can type there and search. So both are the same thing, there is no difference from my point of view. Attendance you have to mark today. See the time slot, generally it is the same time which is there in the timetable. So ma'am has shared the time today at 11:20 to 12:15. So that is the time for you. You have to select that, because I am going to select that time only. Fine. Ritik, if you were not there in the class yesterday, so PPT I have already shared. Even I shared it again yesterday, and I asked to come prepare for today's class. So the point is that you must go through with the last slides also. You came to college yesterday, so why not you met me yesterday if you were there? Okay, fine. So I believe there is no query except that one, web browser and search engine. So let us start something from the next slide. That is ethical and legal issues in communication. So first of all, we are going to talk about ethical issues. And when we are going to discuss ethical issues, first of all, we have to understand what is the ethics. What do you mean by that? So from your group, anybody can define it? Please do let me know what do you mean by this. What do you understand by the term ethics? Yes? Who is going to say? Write your name here in chat box. Who is going to define it? Or I should start and complete? Dev, Venu. Yes, you can say. Hola, so many days you have not spoken. Yes, Venu, define the term ethics. What do you understand by it?
Well, ethics means moral philosophy. What is morally good and bad, and what is morally right and wrong. It is basically
Good
the
or bad
values.
or right or wrong?
Yes, ma'am. It is the values.
Okay. Okay. Fine enough. Anybody else would like to add something? Yes, please. Yesterday I said in the mail that everyone has to participate in the class. I mean, presence of all the students were needed. But I'm just seeing here the number that is 79, and including me there. That is the number of count. So why others have not joined, I don't know. Still, I don't think so. These many people are from Haryana, right? Okay, so you have said that Venu, that ethics is something which is morally correct and is about right and wrong, good or bad, right? So that is true. It is about good or bad or right or wrong. It's not about etiquettes, Tushar. Etiquettes is something, how you behave with your seniors and juniors. So that is different thing altogether. Maybe I'm having very much ethical person, but I'm not having etiquettes. That may be possible, right? Why? Because ethics is something else. Meenal has said study of what is right and wrong. True. So that is about the ethics. Ethics is basically what is ethics? That what you are saying, you are living that life. That is the ethics. If you are saying something else and doing something else, that means there is no ethics. So we know one sentence in Sanskrit that is like mansa vacha karmana. Mansa vacha karmana means whatever thoughts comes to your mind, you speak that, and whatever you are speaking, you are doing it. Mansa, man means mind. Vacha, speak your words, and karmana, what you are doing, acting. So ethics is something, whatever you are, basically we are not judging your mind, but yes, what you are saying, you are doing it. So that is the ethics. I hope voice is clear. Uh, Deep is saying terms of rights, rights is fine. Obligation maybe I can take or not. That is my problem. So again, obligation means if I am an ethical person, then only I will feel that I am obliged to do something, to perform something, right? Or benefits to society, maybe not possible that, maybe due to your ethics, society is not getting benefit. Maybe, uh, from you may get some bribes and you are going to spend over the people or the society. But you are an ethical person, you are not taking bribe and you cannot do much of the things. So it is nothing to do with the benefits of the society. It is about that what you are saying, you are doing it. Maybe it may harm somebody due to your ethical behavior. Maybe it is going to harm somebody, but inside you feel like yes, I'm. It is said sometimes in life what happens that we believe in that what other people will be saying if I will do like this. So it is said that whatever other people are saying, leave that matter. Just think that how you are going to tackle those things. Means if I have done something, I'm the person who is going to answer it or answerable inside me. Okay? Nobody else is responsible. So how much I am feeling that I have done it is good, that is the matter of the ethics. That if I am feeling that yes, uh, this was the thing I have done, it is good, and other people are taking it bad, it's okay. If I am ethically correct. So I am answerable for myself, not to the other person. Okay, fine. So let it conclude here. So ethics is something where we study about or we behave like we enact the things which is morally correct. It must be right, not the wrong. Okay. And then comes what is ethical communication? The next question. Who is going to answer it? Yes, please. Ethical communication. Okay, so Deep will say, please define ethical communication.
Yes, ma'am, sure. So, ethical communication is a type of communication that is predicated upon certain business values, such as being truthful, concise, and responsible, with one words that resulting actions. In short, simply refers to the practice of conveying honest information in manner that is not intended to be misleading.
Acha,
Yes, ma'am.
do let me know one thing here itself. So, if we are studying about ethics, so I ask that what you have understood, you tell me about this. Okay, you should come prepared. But what you have done as of now, if I would say, you have just read the, you have Googled the ethical communication, and whatever link has come, you have spoken the matter from there. Yes or no? Yes or no? Deep.
No, ma'am, I prepared.
And same cheese. How is it possible? I can show you here. You can look at here, right? See, again these things. See, that is the smartness. Even I searched you for you people that general that I wrote it here. What is ethics? Just to be sure that sometimes we are getting confused with right, wrong, or good or bad. It's not about good or bad. It is about right or wrong. Ethics is about right or wrong. So if I'm going to write here, what is ethical communication? Wait a moment. Whatever you have spoken, here it is written somewhere. I have seen here same language it was used. Huh. See here. Ethical communication defined. Ethical communication is a type of communication that is predicted upon certain business values, such as being truthful, concise. Whatever you have to see, please don't take it otherwise. I'm just making you understand the things. When we are saying ethics, so if you are speaking from here, you exactly spoke that much. You know, up to this content, one full sentence you have spoken, right? Maybe possible that you have just remembered the things you have remembered and recalled, and you just see here. But that is how exactly how it is possible that one can remember everything. You said the same thing, and when I asked, you said no, ma'am. Whatever you said, fine. So the point is that if you have seen this definition as of now, just now, and I'm not saying that you are just saw that matter and you spoke. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying here, please mind it. What I'm saying here, that if you have just seen this content, and then if you are speaking, and other people are sitting at home and they're not doing it, just because of that they think that I don't know, so I should not speak it. Fine. I should not say anything about it. So here comes ethics. Are you getting it? Here comes ethics. That
Yes,
other
ma'am.
people are not seeing the content. They also can Google on the mobile, but they are not seeing it and they are not speaking. So I may take them as ethical person. They are not seeing right now. If they have not studied, it's okay with them. But if you are just seeing it right now and you are speaking, so uh, what I can do, I can treat this matter as in two folds. First, that you have just seen and speaking. So I can take it one. If I will see the good thing in you, I can say you are smart enough. You are smart enough that you just seen the content and you spoke, right? And the second thing I can say, that you are not an ethical person. You are not knowing the thing, and you just googled it and you spoke. So maybe you are not an ethical person. Similarly, if there is an examination and same kind of question has come, maybe you have carried some chit, or and you are just copying it from there, and some person who is not knowing it. But after all, the result will come and you will be getting good marks. But may be possible that the second person, all the other students, they are not getting that marks because they were not knowing the things. So whom I can say they are they are ethical people, the people who have not cheated in the examination. Yes or no? Please, class. That is the ethics. What we believe that nobody is seeing it, I can do it. Okay. So that is the unethical practice. Ethics is that we believe that somebody is there who is watching me. I should not do the things which is wrong. I am telling you nowadays why you must have seen so many changes in your timetable. Why it has happened? Nothing about that matter. You people are aware. The matter is that IP University is conducting online examination, and we people are having the invigilation duty as well. Yesterday, I had invigilation from 9 to 11 a.m. There are three shifts going on, 9 to 11. Then sometime is 11. Second time, I don't remember. I have not seen the timetable. Third time is third shift is from 3 to 5. Today I have a duty from 3 to 5. So there is no change in my schedule. Other classes have gone changed. Just because why? People are having, Rampal sir is having the duty, Vinod sir is also having the duty, Shipta ma'am is also having the duty. So definitely we have to change their timetable. So why I am telling you this thing, that in that particular examination, online examination is going on, fine. And in online examination, the student is sitting at his or her home. They are just sitting in front of the system and they are writing the test. And we people are sitting in our offices and we are giving the invigilation duty, right? We are performing that duty. So now the point is, you can say that so many things are there from where students may cheat. They are sitting at their home. So many things are there. They can do that. But still we are invigilating from here, and I'm telling you, the moment, even if we are not knowing that whether that uh, from which college that student is or whatever it is, but when we are invigilating, we are performing the duty, we are coming to know. And students are, yesterday one student was caught cheated at one particular place. I mean, some student of the college, not our college, some other student. One person was caught there. Simran ma'am was there. She did that thing. She informed to the university. Uh, Online examination is going on. I'm not supposed to do anything except that I can watch them, and that is also not all the time I can watch them. Whenever I go to the other students profile, that person, the earlier one, that is going to be just static, that is showing static moment, so I cannot watch that person at the same time. So the point is, I cannot watch each and every 24 students were there in my slot yesterday. So I cannot watch all the 24 students at the same time. It was in the static mode. When it comes at the screen, all together 24, so they were static. But when I click on one profile, I can watch them as live. They are sitting in front of me, and in that way. So the matter is, if they are given free hand, you can say, at home, but still we are able to catch them once they are sitting at that particular place. How? So many things are there, because on the basis of your experiences, so many things you learn. So that is how, if they are doing cheating in the examination, and they may get good marks maybe, but how good they will feel after the result, I don't think so. So the moment you are not feeling good by doing something good, you believe, that is the unethical practice. We should not do that. Fine. कि कोई नहीं देख रहा है तो मुझे कर लो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, उससे फर्क पड़ता है आपको लॉन्ग टर्म में, गिल्ट होता ही होता है. गिल्ट जो कहते हैं ना, गिल्ट वहां से आता है, right? If you are doing something wrong and you feel that yes, I have done it, so that from where that guilt comes. Okay, so I'm sure that you have understood the terminology, which is ethical communication. Ethical communication, he has defined very well, Deep, that ethical communication means whatever you are saying, you are doing that, you are acting.
Sure,
And
ma'am.
it must be truthful, it must be concise. Concise means brief. Once you are saying something in brief, you can say in the right way. Okay, so that is how that is the reason it is being said that your message, your content should be in brief, so that it will be correct one. So that is the ethical communication. Like as an organization, if I am saying that my student has got 10 lakhs of package, you must have, many of you have heard this. But if it is not there, you are not there to check, and you are not going to talk to the student. But if I am saying that one student has got this much of package, that means it should be there. and it should be ethically correct. So that gives you, confidence and other things. So as an organization, I have to communicate the things to my stakeholders, which is correct, which is right, not the wrong matters, right? So that is how we have to understand ethical communication for the from the side of the organization. How to, like, that much what I talked about, it was about your individual ethics, but we are studying in business communication, ethical communication. We are studying it here. So why we are studying it here? Because as a manager, if you are saying something to somebody, that means you are saying on behalf of the organization. So whatever you are saying, make sure that you are following that. If you are not doing that, that means it is an unethical practice, not the right way to communicate with your clients or your stakeholders, right? So how to ensure, ethical business communication in the organization? What are the things we require to do? These are the major three elements. The first, ethical individual or employees. Ethical individual or employees. We have to hire the people who are practicing ethics in his or her life. If you will talk to some people, you will come to know that who is ethical, who is not. In a very fraction of seconds, HR people, they understand that who is saying which is right or wrong, who is an ethical person or who is not, right? So first of all, in the organization, agar chalo wo to hiring ke samay we can ensure, or we can make the things in that way in the organization where employees are supposed to practice the things ethically. That we have to ensure in the organization. The second point comes that the leadership, the top management, they should be ethical one. They should practice the ethics. Then only your middle level or lower level people will follow that. It may never happen in the organization that your top management is following something unethical, and being at the lower level, you are not the part of that unethical practice. It may not happen. If your top management is practicing something unethical, you are by default forced to practice those things. And even at the lower level, even if your guard is so ethical person, if he is so much practicing ethics in his life, then even your top management cannot do unethical practices. How? We will understand in the next slides. Then it comes, you have to, as a manager, as a top management, you have to make policies in such a way that everyone is forced to practice the ethics in the organization, right? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because I got a call on this number, so that's why, and I'm connecting from mobile as of now. My voice is coming from mobile, not the system. So some company is making call. I'll talk to them later on. Fine enough. So we have to understand three things here, three major elements to practice ethical communication in the organization. That is one, at the level of the employee must practice the ethics in the organization. At the second, top management should practice the ethics in the organization. And at the third, you have to make the policies, regulations, rules, regulations of the organization in such a way where you are forced to practice the ethics, right? I am telling you. Just a moment. 6 months, not 6 months, beyond 1 year, because almost lockdown time it came in March, so beyond 1 year it was, I believe. Yes. So what is happening in our college, that we are the faculty members and the staff members, we are supposed to sign our attendance sheet as you people are doing. ठीक है, आप लोग भी करते हो. अभी तक मैंने दिया है अटेंडेंस सबको. जो है इस वीक के लिए मैंने बोला है कि मैं नहीं लगाऊंगी, 20 मिनट्स के विंडो के बाहर नहीं लगाऊंगी. बट द मैटर इज दैट वेदर आई एम चेकिंग that this person had just marked the attendance between that time only and he is not in the class. check ethics that small thing is. For you people, many of you may be doing it. I cannot say that you are doing or not, but if I will check correctly, I am telling you, 2 3 people will be there, 2 3 students will be there who are marking the attendance but not coming to the class. They are not joining the class. And if I will do rigorously, that I may find out. but but I am not doing it. I have, I'm just leaving that matter to you people, that how much ethical you are. If you are marking your attendance, make sure that you are in the class. And if you are not doing that, you are going to face the music, not me. Okay. So here, for you people have come, now I'm telling you attendance pattern of our college for the faculty and staff members. When I just entered at the main gate, many of you must have seen, if you have visited college, main gate, guard is, he knows everyone. So just he writes the name, and he is marking the time, that at what time I have entered. Fine. From that gate, when I'm coming to the reception, there is a, register there, file there, in my name or other people's name. There they are supposed to, on that their page, they have to write the incoming time and outgoing time. Okay. So coming time, let's suppose today I came somewhere 9 9 not 9 8:43, right? I came at 8:43 at reception. So when I write the time, what I do usually, I just, in front of at reception there is a wall clock. I just watch the time and I put down the same time. Fine. And just imagine if guard has written the same time. I mean, uh, at the time I entered like 8:43, and he has also entered 8:43. That means some error is there. Means just because for 1 minute or 1.5 minutes I have written down something wrong. Yes or no? Guard has noted time. Let's suppose 8:43, and I am also writing 8:43. That means what? At the same time, how is it possible that I am in at reception from gate this on the same time? It would take at least 50 to let's suppose 30 seconds. So maybe the time is not same. Okay, 1 minute you can leave it out. If I am inserting 8:40, that means what? Guard has written down 8:43. How is it 8:40 when I am reaching here at reception? And there was a what is called biometric. Yes, biometric system is also there. It is installed for the staff member and the teachers. So at reception itself, just because of this lockdown and corona and everything, it was supposed not to touch, for just to avoid the physical contact and all. So we stopped that biometric since March 2020. So it is not working functional as of now even. So what was happening at that moment? Why I'm narrating this story? That 2 3 staff members, or the whatever you can say, faculty, staff, whatever, they made this practice. And in our college, we have a practice that in the morning shift, class starts at 8 o'clock, right? First shift starts at 8 o'clock. So the teacher is supposed to be here in the college at 7:45. If I have class at 8 o'clock, I'm supposed to be here in the college 7:45, so that I can easily reach to my class on time. Fine. So if I'm coming at 8:05, let's suppose. So how is it possible I can enter into the class just at 8 o'clock? No, not possible at all, no? Because I'm coming at 8:05. Guard has entered 8:05. Let's suppose I'm entering, I'm giving my example only, though I never come late, as you know. At reception, I'm writing 7:55 or something like that. Guard had written down 8:05. I'm coming to 7. I'm inserting 7:55, and by my biometric is saying 8:07. Okay, 8:05 or 8:07. That means what? Somewhere whatever information I am putting down in my page, that is wrong. And whatever things, whatever interpretation we are making on the basis of that individual file, not on the basis of biometric, not on the basis of guards file. Okay. Why? Because just to ensure that we are the learned people, why we will practice so mean things? I cannot think of even if I come late by 8, I can come by 8:10. I will write 8:10, not the 8 o'clock or 7:55. I never will mention that. Okay. So here we have to understand the ethics. 5 मिनट 10 मिनट से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, लेकिन ये एथिक्स है जो कह रहे हैं कि आपको टाइम पे कॉलेज आना है, ये आपको देखना है कि मुझे टाइम पे आना है. Who is going to bother about it? It is up to us. And if I am not practicing something and I am going to tell you to do the same thing, why you are going, and how much impact will be there on my words? It will be no impact. I can narrate one story here of Mahatma Gandhi ji. There are two stories basically on ethics, what I have learned from him. There was a lady, right? And that lady said to Mahatma Gandhi that you please ask my son not to eat sugar as he is having high sugar. Okay. He was a small kid, like 5 to 6 years old. So Gandhiji said that you do one thing, you come after 15 days, then I will ask him. So after 15 days, she again came along with her son. Then Mahatma ji, Gandhi ji said that, look, son, you should not eat sugar because you are the only son of your parents, only son of your mother, and you are not having even your father. So if something will happen, wrong will happen to you, how your mother will survive? So I would suggest you should not eat. And then that lady said that the same thing you would have said 15 days earlier. Why only today? So what he said, Mahatma Gandhi ji, he said that I did not say 15 days before because I was even eating sugar and I don't know the pain if you eat something and you all of a sudden you stop eating it. So what is going to happen with you? What kind of mental situation will be there? I don't know. I don't feel that. So that is why I stopped eating sugar first and then I asked that kid to not to eat that sugar. So why he did like that? Because once you are following something, you are already practicing something, and then you ask to somebody, then it is going to have a positive impact on that person who will listen to you. Why some people are saying something and we are just we start following that thing? Just because that person has already living that kind of life. And if that person is saying something to you, that is going to make an impact on you. So that is the reason I told one story of impact of word. Once you do, what was the definition? What is the word? You are doing that. You are in action. So that is the thing. What you are saying, you are already living that kind of life. Okay. And the second story was about ethics, I can say. That was during those periods, he had, two candles, right, in his room. So when he was working for, so what happened, somebody was there in front of him and he just एक मोमबत्ती को बुझा दिया, दूसरे को ऑन करके जला के काम करना शुरू किया. रोज का उनका ये काम होता था. So that person asked that why you, मतलब just you blow off that candle and then again you light up and then you start working. Then he said कि जो पहले का काम था, जो मैंने कैंडल को बुझाया, वो इसलिए बुझाया क्योंकि वो ऑफिस का काम था और मैं ऑफिस का काम कर रहा था. ठीक है. तो मैंने उस ऑफिस वाली मोमबत्ती को जलाया और जब मैं अपना काम कर रहा हूँ, अपनी किताबें लिख रहा हूँ या कुछ भी, वट एवर थिंग्स ही वॉज डूइंग एट दैट टाइम, तो मैं अपना जो अपने कमाई का जो कैंडल था, अपने घर का जो कैंडल था, मैंने उसको जलाया. अच्छा एक बात बताओ, ये एथिक्स नहीं है कि क्या फर्क पड़ता है कि गांधी जी जैसे लोग अगर उसने इतना कुछ किए थे तो उन्होंने अगर कैंडल, ऑफिशियल का कैंडल जला ही लेते तो क्या फर्क पड़ता अगर वो अपने पर्सनल काम के लिए जला लेते तो. बट दैट इज द इंटीग्रिटी, दैट इज द एथिकल हाई वैल्यू ऑफ एथिक्स, वेयर यू आर नॉट डूइंग द रॉन्ग थिंग, नोबडी इज देयर टू वॉच. और अगर वो ना भी करते तो कौन चेक कर रहा है? कोई नहीं चेक कर रहा है, कोई सीसीटीवी कैमरा नहीं लगा हुआ है ना, कोई नहीं है जो उनको देख रहा है. So that is how we are practicing and we are learning to practice the ethics. I also have done, many a times. I have, many a times means I'm even practicing it. Now I have my own mobile. I have my personal number. This number is my personal number, and I'm using for officially use even. I use that mobile number and mobile set what I'm using. But as I'm into the placement cell. I'm working there. So earlier during the 2006-8, yes, please keep yourself on mute. Earlier in the days of 2006, 7, 8, you can say, in that period, I had two official mobile sets with me. Okay, and so those numbers. Please, you can mute yourself if you're not saying I am speaking now. So it's better you can mute yourself. Who is there? Fine. So why I'm telling you this thing, I also have practiced the same thing in my life, that I don't use anything official for my personal use. Even my family members, even on my birthday, my anniversary, no of my family members, they are making or calling me in daytime, and even any time. I mean, uh, if I'm in the office, they don't make any call even today. Whatever wishes come to me, that comes in the evening, somewhere 5, 6, 7 p.m. Just because that they know that she's in the office, she will not talk. So I even maintain in today's time. And if call comes to me, yeah, so much noisy there. Who is this?
Ma'am, Pushkar mic is on.
Pushkar. I am unable to see him actually. I tried, but I am unable to see him. Pushkar, can you mute yourself? I can do this, but I am unable to see him. Yes, he is here. Fine. Okay. So that we have to understand, right? So that is what ethics. For a small thing, you have not to practice in your life, then it is known as you are an ethical person. Now moving forward, these three things we have discussed: ethical individual or employees, leadership, top management should be ethical one, and we have to make our practices in such a way, policies and procedures structured, so that people are forced to follow the ethical things in the office, right? Can you see this presentation? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Now comes to the next slide. It is developing and maintaining, implementing a code of ethics. Developing and implementing. You have to develop means what? You have to write policies, you have to frame policies, and you have to implement. So when you have to implement the code of ethics, you have to develop something. So how to do that? Be clear about the objectives the code is intended to accomplish. What you wanted to do, be clear. Why I am going to do this? So that you will able to practice it. Try to get support and ideas for the code from people at all levels of the organization. Maybe management may watch, see, organization runs for what? Making the profit. So maybe the top management can see something which is for them it is ethical, but may be possible that lower management, from their point of view, that thing is not ethical. So we have to ensure that whenever you are going to write such kind of code of conduct, you have to take the ideas from all levels of the people, right? Be aware of the latest developments in the laws and regulations affecting the industry, whichever industry you are into. Like we are in the education sector. So if we are in the education sector, so we have to follow something, and whatever changes are happening nowadays, we have to be aware about those things. If we are not, that means somewhere we are going to make mistakes, or we are going to follow unethical practice. I am not taking the name, but one of the student of this class, he, I mean, he said he, then you can imagine that person is a boy, right? Okay. So he said that, ma'am, you are charging a fee which is very much, higher side, and this is not given in your college brochure, or the university is what university has said. It is, he said that something up to 1 lakh fee. That is your 3 years fee, and that much you should charge, right? That was the issue. And I'm telling you, I have given so much of time to him, but still I believe he is not clear with the things. So I said, once you do one thing, you come to the college, and then I will show you uh, the papers we have received from the Delhi government and the university. And still, if you are not satisfied, I can send you to the university. From there, you can learn that, yes, what is our fee. Even I am telling you, a single penny we cannot charge, which is not under our control. Okay, we are not going to charge you. Trust me, because we know, and even we were saying fees like something else, and just on 9 December, university has increased the fee of 3,000. So we have to take it. Those who have not submitted, you have to deposit. Maybe college is not asking you as of now. Many of you have already deposited. Those who are not submitted that fee, you will be asked to deposit that. Today it is not being asked, maybe possible, because we are engaged in so many activities. So it's okay, you have already deposited that much of fee, 3,000 will come to us. That's not an issue. But the point is, we are not going to charge you a single penny which is beyond our control. We cannot do that. Fine. So we have to understand that what kind of legal things are going on related to my industry or related to my university. Even if we are not going to charge that 3,000 from you, that we have to pay to the university. Okay. So definitely college will not pay to the university from its own pocket, obviously. So that is being charged to you people. Fine. So that is one thing. So in that way only it is written that be aware of the latest development of your, the legal things, the other things about your industry where you are working. Write as simply and clearly as possible. We have learned it in 7 Cs that we have to define in a simple words. Why in a simple word? Because people can understand it easily. Okay. Be sure that the code is legally defensible. If you are saying something, you have to ensure that whatever you are saying, if somebody is like that boy who is saying that, ma'am, and he has even given me threat of filing a case against the college. So if even he is saying that, what I can do, what we people can do, he is free to do that. He is free to do that. Obviously, if he is having that kind of mindset that we have charged a heavy fee, he can do that. He is free. But what I am saying, I am not wrong at my part. That I have to ensure. So I said, okay, fine, you can do that. No issues. So why I said that? Because I can defend the college legally. Why? Because we have the papers of the state government. We have the papers from the University of Guru Gobind Singh Prastha University. All right. So we know that what we are saying, it is correct. So I'm okay with it. So whatever code or conduct you are practicing in the organization, make sure that you can defend yourself legally. Nothing you should mention which we cannot defend legally, right? And it is said that you should avoid, you means the top management should avoid legal jargons. Jargons is something difficult words. For that, the meaning is something different or something like that. We have to use the very simple language where anybody, the lower management, the clerk even can understand easily that what top management has written down. Okay. Try to give reasons for various provisions of the code. If you have written down some provisions that in this case this may be happen, in this case this may be happen, so give reason why it is so. If some of you are availing a scholarship, let's suppose many of you, I'm sure 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I remember the names. 8 students have given or taken the admission on the basis of the scholarship. So I have to ensure that why other people are not getting. So I have to provide them the reasons. Okay, why these are the people who are availing this scholarship, others are not. Maybe many of you are falling under the same category, but maybe you cannot get and others are getting. So why they are getting, I must be having the reason of it. to tell you why you are not getting and why that person is getting. So similar kind of things we have to mention. Then it comes devise a concrete program for communicating the code and for educating employees about the code and all programs designed to support it. Whatever things organization is doing, whatever rules, regulations you have made, you have framed in the organization, and the employees are supposed to practice it. So what you have to do? You have to communicate to the employees that you have to do this, you have not to do this. Like for you people, it is very much, I'm sure it has been said in the first class only or the first orientation program only that you are supposed to maintain a minimum of 75% of attendance. So just if we will write a code of conduct that students are supposed to maintain 75% of attendance and that communication has not been made to you people, then how you are going to practice? You will not practice it. You may not come to the classes regularly. So we have to ensure time and again we have to remind, we have to ask to the students that you have to come to the class regularly, you have to attend the class regularly. And that is why orientation program is there in the colleges, that you must be aware, you must be familiar with the rules and regulations of the college, that what all the things you are supposed to do. Fine. So then only this kind of code of conduct may take place in the organization. Next point says devise a concrete program it is there, concrete program for enforcing the code. Now you have made the code, you have made the people aware about the code of conduct, that you have to follow these rules. But you just, if you are going to say that you have to follow this, like we have said, you people, that you have to maintain the 75% of attendance. But we are not giving you time and again the warning that what is your attendance status of today or 15 days before or 15 days later. We have to provide the information. Then only, if you are regular, you know that yes, 90 plus hi hoga mera attendance. But those who are not regular, so regular in the classes, so what they will do, they have to understand that where my attendance percentage of attendance is, what is my that percentage of attendance. So when we have to enforce it, we have to remind you time and again that yes, you have to attend the class regularly. So that is why even I sent that mail yesterday that attendance is mandatory for you all. That I wanted to know that how many are there. Still today was 80 only, 79, 80 somewhere. That is the maximum number I could see. So we have to ensure that ensuring means enforcing means ensuring that what practice we have already framed, it must be in practice. We must practice it. So for that, what are the techniques? What are the things we are going to use? The example I gave you of attendance. So for that, we are providing you your information related to your attendance, that this much of attendance you have till this date. Again and again, I believe 10 to 15 days, Sudan ma'am must be sharing it with you people. So you are aware that this much of attendance I am having, and minimum I have to ensure that 75%, right? So that is what about devise a concrete program for enforcing the code. Next one is select competent persons to administer the code and give them the time and resources to get the job done. We have to ensure, as a the top management, they should ensure that you must have some those kind of people who are there to ensure just those things only. Why program coordinators are there? Just to ensure that the things which is happening in the college for the purpose of the students' benefit, that must be done in the proper way. So that is why they are there. Program coordinators are there to inform you. It's okay that many of you are calling to me. It's okay to me. I have no issues. But at the same time, these are the people, program coordinators are the people. They are supposed to inform you the things, right? And if we have to provide, as a top management, we have to provide the time and resources. Time and resources means time to calculate the attendance, to provide them system. Resources means some system to them where they can calculate, right? So these are the things as a top management has to ensure. The last one says make sure to provide for changing the code to meet new situations and challenges. Don't make a policy which you cannot modify in the future. You have to write your policies, in such a way where modification, whenever it is required, there is a place, there is space to make those changes, so that in future, if there is any kind of such situation, you can manage it easily. You can define your code of conduct once again. You can frame it once again, or you can modify it once again, right? So this is all about the program. Then two things comes, ethical issues. Why we are studying it? Because there are so many ethical issues in the business communication. So here there are secrecy, whistleblowing, rumor and gossip, ambiguity, lying, leaks. These are the basically ethical issues in business communication. So what happens? Secrecy means that maybe some information are there in the organization and I know it, okay? I know it, but my loyalty is with whom? My loyalty, I am working with JSPSR. So first of all, my loyalty is for my top management. Whatever they are saying, I am supposed to do it. Fine. But at the same time, some information are there, what I'm supposed to tell you people as well, right? So how much secrecy I have to maintain, how much not to maintain, that must be clear. And if I am not doing that, that means I am not practicing the ethics, right? ज्यादा हो रहा है मेरे ख्याल से। आज मैंने सोचा था इसको फिनिश ऑफ करने का, दो स्टोरी सुना के टाइम ज्यादा लग गया, कोई बात नहीं। Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine,
Yes, ma'am.
we'll take 2 more classes on it, not an issue. So for the next class, be ready with the two things, either both the things, ethical and legal issues. We will see whether we are able to complete in one class or 2 classes are required. Attendance link अब मांग रहे हैं, this is entirely wrong. Shilpi, why not you people save it at your end? Okay, fine. So still we have 2 to 3 minutes, I believe, right? Attendance, what is jargons? Tushar, jargons means using the difficult word. Whatever you have written down, if you are using some jargons, that means maybe some people are aware, some people are not. Like if I would say, God is omnipresent. What do you mean by that? Omnipresent means what? Tushar?
Means, ma'am, God is only present in the earth and nobody is present.
So what is the meaning of, what did you understood?
Ma'am, can I say in Hindi?
बोलो।
मैम भगवान सिर्फ धरती पे और मैम कोई नहीं है।
ये मैंने बोला, ये
भगवान हर जगह है।
Yes, ma'am.
भगवान हर जगह है।
Sorry.
एक्चुअल मीनिंग क्या है? गॉड प्रेजेंट एवरीवेयर। नो, ओमनी प्रेजेंट का मीनिंग देखना क्या है? आई बिलीव इट इज लाइक वी से इन हिंदी अंतर्यामी। अंतर्यामी मीन्स भगवान को सब पता होता है ना?
The one who is present everywhere and knows everything.
Knows everything. Basically, it is used for knows everything. अंतर्यामी, he knows everything, है ना? कहते हैं ना कि मैं, I don't know how much you people use or not. जनरली जैसे मैं तो कई बार यूज करती हूँ, मैं अंतर्यामी नहीं हूँ, मुझे नहीं पता कि आप क्या सोच रहे थे, या आपके मन में कुछ है तो मुझे नहीं पता। घर में तो होता है ऐसी चीजें ना, मेरे हस्बैंड कुछ बोलते हैं, बता दिया करो, मुझे क्या पता आप क्या कह रहे हो। तो आई एम नॉट एन ओमनी प्रेजेंट, मीन्स आई एम नॉट अंतर्यामी, मैं भगवान नहीं, या समटाइम्स इट हैपेंस मैं भगवान नहीं हूँ, मुझे सब पता नहीं है, यू नो। तो गॉड इज ओमनी प्रेजेंट। तो ओमनी प्रेजेंट इज अ जार्गन में डिफिकल्ट वर्ड। आप मैनेजमेंट को लिख रहे हो, मैनेजमेंट की बातें लिख रहे हो, पर इतने डिफिकल्ट वर्ड यूज कर रहे हो जो अगले को डिक्शनरी देखना पड़े और डिक्शनरी में इतने सारे मीनिंग्स होते हैं, तो कौन सा मीनिंग वो लगाए पता नहीं, तो विश